conversations about culture and Christianity. My name is Eric, and today I'm joined by Jess.
Hello, world.
And not Alex, assistant to the Alex Ely, Jarrett Black is here with us.
Happy National Bologna Day.
Okay. Oh. Wow. He's going to be so proud of you.
I want you to know that I watched the last 10 episodes to really prepare myself for what it looks like to be Alex today.
Yeah.
And so that's what I got for you. National Bologna Day.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
It's better than Lazy Mom's Day. You don't want to hit me right now.
You know that's true.
That was the one of his biggest hits.
Yeah.
In a while. Do you guys eat bologna?
No, I never have before.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, and I think it's got to be the weirdest spelled word.
Is that an old person food now?
Pronunciation.
I don't know.
Bologna?
I don't know.
Like, how do you get bologna from that spelling?
It's probably a different language, Jarrett. You're being rude to other cultures right now.
All right.
Somebody probably really loves bologna.
Is that an old person food? That's what I'm asking right now. If bologna, if you would know, like, if you haven't eaten bologna. Like, I grew up eating bologna arcado salami. Did anybody eat that when they were a kid?
What?
I don't know.
Is that the one that had the
little
different
peppercorns in it?
Oh, yeah.
It was delicious. I loved avocado salami on white bread with cheese and Doritos. It was so good. Oh my gosh.
And then my grandma used to put pimento cheese on everything.
It looks like I've just Googled what is the average age of someone who eats bologna, and apparently they can't give that to you. But
yeah, they don't want to be.
It seems like it's still somewhat
ageist, popular.
Like it exists still.
A lot of my like cooking TikTok stuff is like people telling you how to fry bologna.
Well, there you go.
But some people will smoke it, like the whole log of bologna, and they'll score it and they'll season it and smoke it. But I grew up in a Miracle Whip family. Mm-hmm. And so, like, American cheese, bologna, white bread, Miracle Whip, that was a sandwich. Right? You put barbecue potato chips on there. Oh, my gosh, I could eat one right now.
Are you guys eating that for dinner, like sending it to school,
lunch,
Sunday lunch?
Just normal weekday lunch, maybe a school lunch. Yeah. What'd you eat in school lunch?
Whatever left. I mean, I was homeschooled.
Oh, you had leftovers.
Leftovers.
Yeah.
Peanut butter and jelly.
Okay, homeschool. I forgot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Maybe it was a great experience. I'm just sorry that I forgot. That's all. As I was saying, I'm sorry I forgot. Not that I'm sorry that you were homeschooled.
It's fine.
So if you couldn't tell, Alex is no longer with us, but
goodness.
Not RIP style.
No.
He's just on vacation.
Yeah.
And he was like, we could get ahead of this and pre-record another episode or not. And we, Jess and I were like, hey,
we can do it.
We got it. We got this under control. I know, your leadership is very valuable, but
we are two very capable, amazing human beings.
We can take a shot at it. So,
and then Jarrett was there and we said, Jarrett.
Now I'm here.
Yeah. As you work closely with Alex, you know a lot about him and what he does. And so we figured, you can sit here.
Yeah.
And keep his seat warm.
But it is fun. I mean, in all sincerity, the two of you and Alex are three of my favorite people.
Aww.
So, I know.
That's so nice.
So I'm excited to be here. It'll be fun.
Thanks for being here, Jarrett.
I'm very glad you're here.
So our plan for this episode is a little unconventional. So if you're watching this and listening to it, either or, you may be wondering, what are you guys going to talk about today? Well,
we're also wondering that a little bit.
Yeah, well, we're going to take you a little bit behind the scenes of the podcast. That's going to be part of the episode where we're going to talk about the process of making an episode and how we get the word out about it. And we're also just going to run through a couple, cultural updates, some headlines. We haven't done headlines in a while. Look at some things that are going on in the world. And that's the plan. So as part of that, for taking people behind the scenes, as it is, we thought we'd introduce you to our newest producer. His name is Bryce Johnson, and he's back there on the ones and twos. Hello, Bryce. Has a microphone. Can you say,
what's up?
Yo, he just came in with his NPR voice. That was
hello. This is Bryce Johnson, Christ Community Church.
Thanks, Bryce. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Just first time on the podcast, a little bit of pressure, but other than that, just clicking buttons.
He really got a lengthy shout out from Alex last week.
Yeah, he did. He got.
So it's good. It's good that the viewers get to see him now too.
Mm-hmm.
They don't just know that he didn't wear Payless shoes. They now know what it looks like.
Famous footwear. Famous footwear to be exact.
Yep. He's got a face and a voice. So he's gonna be on, commentating where he would like. So that's This is really, I mean, this could be one of the best episodes we've ever had. It could be the most unhinged episode.
Yes. But could it be the worst? Never.
No,
No, never.
It could.
Never. Not with this group.
Yeah, it couldn't
Not with
be the
these
worst.
guys.
No, it's got to be good.
That's my bad. I misread that situation where that was going. That's on me.
So I'm assuming if you're a longtime listener who tunes in frequently, this might be a fun episode for you. If this is your first episode ever watching the Uncomfortable podcast, I'm not sure what to tell you.
Great introduction.
This might make you love this podcast or be like, what is the point of this? I don't know.
I'm going to take a little off script here already, but that was one thing I was thinking about was, so let's say it is someone's first time watching right now. What's an episode you'd be like, go back and watch this one for each of you? It could be for any reason. It could be you just loved it.
Definitely not the one we did on faith deconstruction the first time. But that was one of our most popular YouTube episodes because it was culturally relevant at the time, but also we were pretty new to the subject and we didn't handle it the best. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not that one.
Okay, so of the 275, don't pick that one.
Yeah.
This is also episode 275, so that's
Is it
fun.
actually?
That's amazing.
I feel like you made that number up.
I think a good one to start that I love that I did, and I guess it was just only me on it, so I'm not trying to say anything about you guys. Great. But I love the Athlete A interview that I did with Lisa Ashton about Gary Nasser and USA Gymnastics and that whole documentary that came out. That was such a meaningful and impactful episode for me to do. I feel like I've referred a lot of people to like, hey, this is the kind of stuff that we want to get into, that we want to figure out. I can't remember what episode it is,
I was just
though.
going to take a look for you right now.
Yeah, that was a really good episode. That was one of our first kind of in-depth interviews.
And I was fairly new to the podcast, and I was very nervous. I remember, if we're going behind the scenes, I recorded that episode, and whoever was in the room, we pushed stop, and I definitely cried for a while.
Yeah, it was
just
a
good episode. Yeah,
that was episode 51. Episode 51. If people are looking,
we've done a lot since then. Wow.
Mm-hmm. I really liked episode 179 with Jari Bolander. I wasn't on that one much, but it was a good one.
That's what the fun thing is that was my first. I had just gone on staff. That was my first week on staff.
Yeah,
that was that one.
That's why I said it. I was thinking of you, Jarrett.
Were you?
Yeah.
Aww.
I wonder what Bryce's favorite episode is.
I don't know.
Okay, great. Great
Maybe
feedback.
it's yet to come.
Great. Yeah, it's this one because he's on it.
Quite possible.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So let's talk about when we're coming up with an idea for an episode. Jess, I feel like this is one that hits close to home for you, because you don't have the luxury of being around the building as much as Alex and I, because you're doing your counseling thing over at City Care. And so you end up getting into text threads with Alex and I, and we kind of try to come up with an idea. What more is there? What could you add to that?
Of when we're coming up with an idea?
That experience, what's it like for you?
I think that it helps that I know both of your personalities really well, so we can kind of we don't have to start out with hey, how's everybody's day going? You got time for this? Because really, what ends up happening now is we're in such a flow with what's going on, or things in our culture are happening so quick that there's sometimes where one of us just is shooting off an article or an idea, or they're sending something where it's hey, how do these three things go together? And we kind of feeling each other out. Can we move forward with this? Is this something that we are passionate about? And so there's a lot of times where recently I've been guys, I'm free at the top of every hour. So I'll check my checks and we're going back and forth. And sometimes that means that it takes us a while to plan something, but
yeah,
sometimes that's what's happening when culture is moving so fast. We're okay, let's throw this
There
together.
are definitely episodes where we kind of have to come in. I mean, we're prepared, but probably prepared within even 24 hours to just talk about a topic. And the other side of that is sometimes as guests, Alex is the one, he's not here to tell us about that process, but he's kind of the one that's reaching out to guests, or sometimes even people will email us and ask to be on the show, and we kind of have to vet them. And but Alex does a lot of great work there, and so that's, people ask us that a lot, how much research do you do, or how much how knowledgeable are you on the topics? And I would say it really varies, because sometimes we're personally really invested in the topic. And so we have a lot of knowledge about it, but there's other times we're coming to things pretty fresh. And I think that's kind of like, at least from my perspective, that's why I like the podcast, is because it's really, you're kind of hearing us process through a new idea. And I think that can be helpful to people. Some people maybe don't enjoy that because they're coming to a podcast. They have limited time. They want an answer. They want you to tell them how to think. But this is probably not that podcast unless you see we have a guest or an expert on a subject.
Do you feel that from us? Like, can you tell like when we're researched or like when we're coming in?
Yeah, I mean, so we'll probably get to this a little bit later, but I cut all the social media clips and things like that for the podcast, and so I'm watching every week, usually at times 2 speed to find
So we
those
all sound like
clips.
chipmunks.
Yeah, it's weird to hear you guys sound normal now. It's a good thing I talk to you guys all the time outside of the podcast, or
Yes.
else it'd be real trippy. But yeah, I think it's hard to tell when you like. It'd be hard to tell if you weren't prepared. Like, I feel like whether you're faking it till you make it or whatnot, like you guys consistently make it, even if you feel like, oh, I don't really know what I'm talking about. And so that's been fun. And even being a guest myself one time
That's
back
true.
in the day.
I was surprised that wasn't your favorite episode.
Well, I actually didn't even say one.
Oh yeah, what
I
is
asked
your
the
favorite
question. I
episode?
didn't have the answer. Obviously, yeah, the one that I was on.
Okay,
No,
great. That's what I just assumed, so I
Yeah.
just like moved
I don't
on.
even know what episode that was.
I don't either.
I think maybe 188. So that day was funny because I was super sick.
Oh, were
I
you?
literally, like, I was going to be the guest, was all set up, and then I got super sick that day, and then I literally came in, filmed that podcast, and went straight home.
Oh, jeez.
Wow, I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Thank you for your dedication to us having an episode that week.
Did we clearly say what your role is at the church? We kind of introduced
I don't
you.
think so.
You said assistant director to Alex Ely.
Yeah.
Is that not my
I don't know if that
official
was
title?
clear.
I don't even know if you said assistant director. I feel like it was just assistant. So
Assistant.
let's
So that's fair.
clarify.
I
I
Let's
just said
clarify that.
assistant Alex, pretty much.
Yeah.
But you help a lot with like social media and what else do you do, Jared?
What can't you
Yes.
do?
Oh, that's so kind, Jess. Probably a lot of things, but yes, I guess my role's transitioning. My role that I'll be stepping into is assistant director of online ministry. Alex is the director of online ministry, but presently my job, which job title is Nope. What is it? It's so long.
Is
look.
it's like is it a content one or is it
Online
a social
content
media?
and guest experience
Experience
coordinator. Thank you.
coordinator. Yeah,
You got
that's-
me started.
Yeah.
In there. It's so long. I think it's the longest title on staff. And so yeah, the social media part and all that, and then I also get to lead guest experience, and so I have a team there that I really love, and we'll be stepping away from this new season, and that's bittersweet for sure because I
Yeah.
love that team, but excited for what's ahead and getting to run after more ministry stuff. Just got reaccredited in the CMA on
Yay.
yesterday.
Congratulations.
So that was fun.
Pastor Jarrett.
And yeah, so
Minister Jarrett, sorry.
that's a little bit of
Who you are.
what that looks like. Yeah.
Another part of this that I think people might find interesting is that the show isn't live, but we don't really edit it much.
Yeah.
Like we don't go in and chop up sections or like, oh, if we made a or a
Or there was like
cough
silence
or
somewhere.
silence.
Someone
we're not-
forgot what their title was. On
Yeah,
staff.
yeah. Like this moment just now is
Yeah.
natural. So that's where Bryce comes into play there. He's back there, run the mixer, and he's also live switching the cameras between, the different angles and today himself. But that's all happening in the moment. We're not editing any of that. So it makes it faster because then Bryce, you get to have a video file at the end of this episode and give us like your 60-second, what do you do with that video file?
Yeah, so I pretty much just take the video file from the monitor here, take it down to my desk, put it in the computer, put it into Final Cut, put the intro on it, the end on it, make sure all the audio is leveled out, make sure it all sounds good for everyone listening, and upload it to all the platforms, YouTube, Facebook, app. I definitely forgot one, but Spotify, that's the one. So
Yeah, and then you could also leave us a review on iTunes if you'd like it. It helps us out. It gets the word out better. So leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah, just leave any review. If you're gonna leave a review, it better be 5 stars. Yeah,
All
otherwise,
5.
otherwise don't leave it.
I think that though, the fact that we do that and the type of live production that we're doing really, for me, is one of the reasons I personally love the podcast, and it plays into, I think, our title, like uncomfortable, because it's authentic, it's raw, it's not something that's going to be, oh, we made this pretty picture for you. It's like you are getting us at
Stream of consciousness.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's cool because it's conversational and like,
Yes.
yeah.
Is
yeah.
it difficult to do? Like, yes, you're kind of putting yourself out there, and what it is, but that's also the beauty of this.
Yeah. Sometimes I walk, depending on the subject, my armpits are either kind of sweaty or extremely sweaty.
I can attest to that.
Yeah. You see that in the video a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't sweat a lot, but my armpits, for some reason, when my nerves get going, that's where it all goes. Sorry, just too much. And I also overshare. So there's an example of that.
That's why I
Let's
love
see what
being
else.
on
Let's see
here.
what else we can get him to overshare today.
Yeah, this is the day to do it. And then you can clip that, Jarrett, and put it on social media.
Yes, I really hold all the power here.
So that's kind of the final step in all of what we do. And that's really our only mode of promotion for the podcast, like getting the word out is, obviously we put it on YouTube and things like that, but you're kind of listening through and picking a handful of clips and posting them throughout the week just to engage people through discoverable media on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this, but you've probably talked about it here in different platforms and whatnot. But social media more than ever is really about that discoverability and creating content where you're not necessarily finding things that like the people you follow or the people you're closest connected to, but really just what's out there in the world. And so it's both a fun and challenging task to be like, this could reach anyone in the world, or it could reach absolutely no one because there's not as big of like a set base of like, well, I know these 500 people are going to interact with it. It's kind of like it could completely flop or it could be great. And we've certainly seen both ends of that spectrum. I think of different life stories we've had where it's been like, oh, that clip got hundreds of thousands of views and like it's fun. And somewhere it's like, well, that was another week with not much.
I know I shouldn't just like have ideas here and share them, but it just made me think we've had a lot of success on social media on our main CCC Omaha account with Mark reacting to videos. And I was like, maybe we just need to have Mark react to a podcast clip and see if that one
That's a
go.
good idea.
Yeah. So
I mean, it would just be interesting for him to even like talk about what we're talking
And
about
correct
in a different
us.
way. Yeah.
Yeah,
this is
Or
where
maybe
they
he'd
went
be
wrong.
like,
Solely an
wow,
indictment of what's
I love them.
I was going to say, hopefully you don't lose your job.
Yeah, I know. Well, Jarrett would have to pick a flattering clip.
Yes.
How do you pick the clips?
Like for Mark to react to?
No, just for
the
ours.
show.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's a
That's
whole
a
nother
diff- yeah.
conversation.
No. But like for us, like in
honestly,
an episode.
usually I think that's part of why I listen to it on times 2 speed. I mean, is time a part of it? Sure. But I think there is the level of like, oh, that caught my attention. Like I'm going pretty quick through it, but it's like that has caused me to be like, oh. And so usually things that feel relevant to culture, I mean, conciseness is helpful. Obviously, you're trying to communicate often a 10-minute conversation into like a 1-minute clip.
So we need to get better at sound bites, is what you're saying.
Alex,
Yeah,
Alex
we
needs
do,
to pause less between his words is
Okay.
what I'm saying.
All
yeah.
right.
But
Good way to throw Alex under the bus since he's not here.
yeah, I thought it would be a nice little shout
I
out.
feel
Make
like
sure
Alex,
he watched.
Alex is often though the clips.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I
He's placating, to his
It's 'cause-
boss.
I think it's
Is it
because
'cause you're his
I lean to like that pastoral angle. I feel like a lot of the time, and that's obviously a lot of what Alex can bring in. Not that you guys can't, but he tends to serve that role in
See.
some ways.
See, there's a bias here.
There is.
That's why Jess and I are less
We
on
just
social
figured it
media.
out.
Yeah. And we're not
Who knew?
concise.
This is why you brought me on here. It was interrogation.
Yeah.
And now to the intervention.
Yeah. We need 50% less clips of Alex on social media. No, thank you, Jarrett.
He
Thanks
does
for
a
what
good-
you do.
He does a good job.
It's super
You do a good
I
good.
know, I'm not
and
gonna be able to
helpful.
post any clips this week because Alex isn't here.
Yeah, I know. What are you going to do? That no one's going to know about this episode. All right. Well, that was kind of the rundown of the behind the scenes
Yes.
of this show, what we do. If you were
Yes.
curious, maybe you were like, that was not interesting and boring, and I'm sorry. But we thought
we'll
maybe
just
it would-
timestamp this episode.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
like,
you can
if
skip
you want to
this.
skip this part, here, go to this time.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Jess?
I was gonna say Bryce, I feel like is fresh eyes like
Mm-hmm.
on the podcast. Do you have any like final thoughts about like how we produce and like even just like your impressions of like working with us? And you could even say something about Alex, even though he's not here, if you have any confessions. But what has it been like?
Yeah, well, I'd say it's definitely been interesting. I think before I came on staff, I'll be honest, I didn't really listen to the podcast. I might have listened to an episode here or there. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jarrett, that you're offended by that.
Get him out of here. What do you mean?
But I feel like listening to you guys, being forced to sit here and produce the podcast, I don't really have much of a choice in the matter.
Wow.
But it is something that I find joy in now every single week. I feel like it's cool being able to hear your guys' perspectives. I believe you all offer unique perspectives on many different things, whether it's Alex's pastoral perspective or the counselor perspective or just the Eric perspective.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I think they all have.
That's a good one. We got the pastoral, the counseling, and the Eric.
Hey, it's all there.
Yeah. I mean, I think they all have value. And I think people that listen to the podcast, I feel like can learn a lot from your combined experience. So
Thanks, Bryce.
Thanks for being here.
That's good. It's helpful that other people view it from an outside perspective. Speaking of that outside perspective, let's talk about an inside perspective, and that would be cultural topics, things that are going on right now. To ease us into this subject, I want to know, what is everybody listening to? What are you watching? What's going on right now? What are you streaming? What are you listening to an audio book? Are you reading a book? Are you? It doesn't have to. You don't have to say all. Just anything. What's going on? Anybody?
Go, Jarrett. I got to pull up my other book I'm reading.
All right. I don't really read books very often, so
Okay.
it won't be what I'm reading. But
Yeah.
watching, I just started watching. I've never seen it before, but Friday Night Lights,
The TV series?
the TV
I
series.
love
It show's
Friday Night
so
Lights.
good. It is
I'm
so
like-
Oh
good.
my goodness.
I mean, it gets a little weird into the later seasons, but it is still so good.
I'm like 5 episodes in right
Oh
now.
boy.
Have you cried yet?
No,
Oh,
I feel like maybe this was the wrong season of the year to watch it
because
because I'm consuming
There's
so
so
much
much
football otherwise that it's like it's not filling a gap in my life. It's like
That's
oversaturating
a
my football
good-
consumption.
you're gonna cry.
So-
You'll cry
Ooh,
eventually.
that's one that you're gonna finish, and you're not gonna know like what
What to do?
do you watch next?
That's
full heights, full hearts. Can't lose.
yes.
Yeah, I love that show. It was so good. I never watched the movies. I don't know, or was there more than one movie or just one
I
movie?
didn't watch it.
But yeah, there's one coach. Other than Ted Lasso, there's 2 coaches. But yeah, so you're not like completely sold.
I
yet.
wouldn't say that I'm at that point yet. No, I wouldn't necessarily expect this
Don't-
reaction
You're just
from
like,
you both.
this is some random show.
Don't stop.
I knew it
don't-
wasn't random.
Don't
At
you
least
dare
finish
stop.
the season. Just give it the first season a fair
I feel
shot.
like, I
If
feel like a
you
lot
want-
of shows that I've watched recently, I've struggled to get past the first season. So I'm wondering if it's
Okay.
just a me issue these days.
Ooh,
Yeah. Or maybe you're
we can
watching
analyze that
That
later.
Gen Z in me just want
Well-
something new all the time.
low attention span. You're used to scrolling on your
Yep.
phone.
So
Maybe but the funny thing is sometimes I'll find myself watching clips from TV shows on social media, and I'm like, okay, maybe my attention span would be better if every 45-minute episode was chopped up into 45
series
clips.
of clips.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what I even put this question in here, and I feel like I'm on the spot. But the one thing that I can think of that I just finished watching with my wife is The Pit. Have you guys ever watched any?
Well,
seen it?
yeah,
No?
when you asked me about it the other day, I asked if it was about Brad Pitt, and
No.
I learned that it's not.
Oh,
No, it's about
probably
It's spelled
watch.
with 2 T's.
sounds
so
like a medical drama.
the wise
It is.
viewer might wonder.
it's,
Oh,
it's
yes.
the one on.
Yes.
I think it's on HBO Max.
Yes.
It's about. Did you watch it?
yes.
Just say yes
Oh.
one more time.
Yes.
Yes.
What's his name?
Yeah.
It's the
No-
guy from ER. He was.
Noah Weil. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
You watched that?
I did.
Yeah, it was really good. I just like. I mean,
It's a different pace from other medical shows. I feel.
it's just
it's
intense.
more dramatic.
Yeah, and it's like
It's all filmed in one room or like in one.
ER. Yeah.
Yes. Versus.
And what's
Clips
cool
from
about
other
it is it's just like it feels like you're kind of thrown into the drama of it all. And I'm kind of a weird person when it comes to. I don't know. I could watch a horror movie. I don't go to horror very often. That's not my go-to. I'd watch one and I could see all sorts of grotesque violence and just kind of be like, okay, whatever. I just know it's like it's Hollywood magic, and I play it off that way. But when it comes to medical gore, it just hits me in a different way. Like I can't like. I get so, I don't know, like a hypochondriac. I think I'm diagnosing myself with everything that they're doing on there, and it freaks me out. Even though I know that's all like also Hollywood magic, it still just affects me differently. But if you're averse to some of that, I wouldn't watch it. But it is it feels very realistic, I guess. But anyways, I enjoyed that. I don't know. There's no real spiritual parallel I can draw to that one other than it's life and death. And maybe it makes you think a little bit about the seriousness of that. And also just gave me a little new perspective on medical professionals that are dealing with that on a day, and kind of that trauma and mental strain that really probably impacts them going through that and caring for a patient and losing that patient, and what impact that must have on you.
I almost feel like I'm not living up to my Alex role well because you said a day and I didn't like lose it laughing.
Lord.
Oh, good job.
Which I feel like I did a bad job. I feel like
No, I think you're setting an example. You're leading up, as they say.
Jess, what are you watching, listening to, reading?
I bounce around between. I'm usually like reading a couple different books at the same time. Right now, like I'm reading. It's called Trust: Knowing When to Give It, Withhold It, How to Earn It, How to Fix It When It Gets Broken by Henry Cloud. And then to offset that, Dan Brown, who I enjoy, just came out with another series with Robert Langdon. Like he's the one that wrote Angels and Demons, The Da Vinci Code.
Oh,
And so he just wrote another book. I've been waiting for him to write another book because he does.
it's pretty sacrilegious
I
content
find
there.
it. I think it's
I almost didn't
fascinating
believe it when
how
she said
someone
it.
makes a story with history, and I just enjoy that take. I like historical
It's
things.
like your Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then I guess maybe I'm just always reading a couple books at the same time. So Freedom
Usually,
McFadden
like,
is another one that
So are you kind of like, I got a fiction and a nonfiction, or it doesn't
and then
matter?
I also enjoy listening to some books too. So I'm always working through The Lord of the Rings. I love Andy Serkis.
Like you go through it again multiple times. Okay.
It's very calming for me. And he does like 50 different voices in his audiobook adaptation.
impressive.
It's incredible. And then the fall is my favorite time to watch TV. So like we just finished Big Brother. I have a wider range of, and I don't know how I have time,
Yeah.
but Grey's Anatomy, Hallmark Christmas, guys. Hallmark Christmas started early this year, October 17th.
Wow.
Countdown.
just
It
taking
has
over.
been
The countdown.
so long since I left you a voicemail asking you to do a Hallmark movie. But
So enjoy.
Jess?
My kids are discovered Duck Dynasty.
Oh.
So
The new one or the old one?
no, the old.
I saw they
So
have
we're
a
on,
Duck
like-
Dynasty revival
Yes,
started.
they
on,
were
yeah.
intrigued by that, and so I played like the first episode of the first season. So we're on like season 3 now. Isn't that funny?
that is funny. I've never watched it.
I got into it quite a bit back in the day when that came on. Yeah, it was fun to watch.
That just feels like right. That's not meant to be an indictment of you, but I'm like, that just feels like a show that'd be like,
that I would like.
Eric would like that.
Okay. Yeah, I like a lot of things.
I think Bryce had it. Bryce was going to ask you a question, I think.
I was just going to ask Jess if she thinks that all Hallmark movies are the same. Because I feel like that's my
Bryce.
opinion. That's
Wow.
my hot take of the day.
There it is. Bryce
That's your
is going
hot
in with
take.
the hot take.
I don't. I think that they're all going the same direction, and they get there a little bit different ways. So
That was a more gracious way of explaining it.
I can see that.
Bryce, are you watching anything, listening to anything, reading anything? What would you? I mean, it doesn't have to be a recommendation. It could just be something
no,
you're in right now.
Don't take my advice.
You know, I do feel like I'm one of those that has just been scrolling endlessly on social media, as they call doom scrolling. I feel like I've been doing that a lot lately. Before, my wife and I would watch some Love is Blind. I feel like we watched a lot of Love is Blind.
Nice.
Season
Why didn't we talk
3 and
about
4
Dancing
were
with
pretty
the Stars?
solid. But, you know, lately, I just feel like Love is Blind hasn't been that great. So we haven't watched
agree.
it. I feel like the drama hasn't been as good. I feel like it's been less genuine. And I don't know, it just seemed kind of fake. But I feel like season 3, season 4, season 5 were pretty solid. So.
Yes, agree with you, Bryce.
There we go. Yeah, you didn't
That's a
mention
nice
Dancing
hot
with the
take.
Stars.
Dancing with the Stars is a good season.
That's true. I mean,
Are
to
you
be
guys
fair,
watching it at all, Bryce, Eric?
You know, in the
Eric?
office, I
It's-
will say I've seen it played slightly. I've seen some clips and I was like, wow, is this supposed to be good?
Really, I feel like what we have to make clear is that I think Eric and I are really watching for the sake of rooting on Andy Richter.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's great.
It's just because there's a lot of hate out there for Andy Richter,
Yeah.
but we're just rooting for him. And that's
But I have in my life now seen 3 episodes of Dancing with the Stars, so it does feel almost. I guess I've only seen 5 episodes of Friday Night Lights, but still, it didn't feel like I've quite reached that level. But we've been watching a
coming.
bunch of people together on Tuesday nights, and that has been fun. It's not a show I'd ever watch by myself, but I will watch it with other people.
all right. Let's jump into some headlines. We've got a couple of them here for you. There was a big heist, a museum heist, which sounds exciting. Like speaking of like movies and things like that, this, I wonder when the made for TV movie or actual movie, Netflix movie will come out based on this heist.
That should be my next voicemail for you. Make a Hallmark movie based on the Louvre heist.
Based on the Louvre heist.
That's right, the Louvre. I don't know that I'd ever heard of the Louvre before
What?
this.
It's true. I was like, did you hear it? And he was like, I don't know what the
I was
Louvre
like,
is.
what's the
I was like,
what's the
very
Louvre
famous art
Louvre?
Oh, okay. You've just not.
The
okay.
Louvre.
Have you?
The Louvre, yeah, I've been there.
Okay, same.
Fancy
Well,
pants.
and not to spoil too far, but your sister-in-law was there the
My
day that it
sister-in-law
happened?
was there. She's there as we are recording this podcast right now.
Was she the one
She was
that
able to go
was
back.
part of the heist?
I asked her, were you there? And they were going and they had closed the museum and they were not letting people in for that day and then a couple days after. And then it just
I think
opened
it
up
just
today.
Reopened, yeah.
I mean, I know we release on Friday, but spoiler, this is a Wednesday. And so
Yes.
she's
That's a little more behind the scenes.
right.
Yeah, this is all what this episode's all
She's
about.
there.
So what did they steal?
They stole, I mean, a number of different jewels, but I
Yes,
think it
they
totaled
stole 8
about
different pieces.
$100 million worth of diamonds. And it feels like I was doing some reading research about this, and it seems like, understandably, there's been a big shift in the art theft world from like paintings or like pieces of art rather as opposed to like something that you can break down, like take a crown and take all the diamonds off of it and sell those
Which makes
separately.
sense because it's less like
There's more
traceable.
liquidity.
Yeah.
And, yeah. Whereas like you got a famous piece of art, like
It's
who's gonna buy
recognizable.
the Mona Lisa from you?
Yeah.
Isn't it true there was a crown found in the gutter?
It's true.
I heard
yes.
about this.
As they were
One of
them
escaping,
was
they dropped
broken.
one.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just, it seems so like Hollywood movie that
Yeah.
it's just almost crazy to believe.
And the fact that they drove a truck, it had like a lift. They went into a window, and within 7 minutes,
Yeah, and
They
like
were in
during
and out.
open hours too.
open hours.
Like the museum was just open.
That is a crazy story.
And yeah, because they said the response time from like when they broke into the window was like 3 minutes. Like everything was functioning correctly, but they were so quick that it was like didn't even matter, which is crazy. It reminds me, you know, in the What Are We Watching? There's a TV show that was on USA called White Collar, which is all about art theft, and I enjoyed that show, and it really made me think about that.
Think
But
about
it does
starting
feel
a
this thing
theft
that's
business.
like it's TV and movies. That's where those things happen, and then you're
Yeah.
like, this just happened in real life.
Yeah, it
It
does
is
feel
crazy.
weird. Yeah, it feels like
it just
that's not
doesn't
real.
feel real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
And
like, can this stuff still happen? I guess so.
will they catch them?
Well,
We'll
it
find
seems
out.
like it's happening more. Like as I was reading about it, it seems like it's been a growing trend.
The other thing that's been going on was last week, Saturday, was the No Kings protest. I believe I saw that it was like 7 million people.
Oh, wait, my sister-in-law just messaged me from,
Okay,
from
update.
the Louvre.
From the Louvre, we got a
Update.
live update.
She said,
from the
I am on a tour, and the lady just said the staffing at the Louvre has decreased 40%, and that security is not even trained security. There's not a lot of cameras, so they felt like someone would try. They've been thinking that somebody would. Also, the glass surrounding the jewels was a very old artifact itself,
Oh,
not reinforced glass or something with secret lasers. So it was an easy smash and grab.
well, there you go. That's
Okay, there we go.
The
That is
vast level
from,
of
I can show you.
knowledge feels like an inside job.
Yeah.
Not to like start spewing conspiracy theories, but
Yeah, yeah.
it just feels like there's so many
Yes.
things that were like, this was the perfect
Live
thing
from
to
the
do.
Louvre. There's my proof.
There you go.
Got a photo and everything. That's crazy.
There it is.
Wow. Okay, so
Thanks for the info, Molly.
that's some inside.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's good. That's inside
apologize.
breaking
Yes.
news.
Yeah, that's good
you know.
reporting.
Yeah, our reporter from
This
the
just in.
field. Excellent. Now, as I was saying, the No Kings protest happened on Saturday of last week. 7 million people across 2,700 cities stepped out to demonstrate that they were against President Donald Trump and his administration. Took place in all 50 states. It was. We were talking before this, Jarrett, and you said that you heard that it was the biggest protest since when?
I
Or-
think from what I was reading, and let me see if I can find it again quick, but like the largest single day protest in American history.
Wow, that's just crazy. It's, I mean, and one thing that I've found kind of comforting about that, I guess, if you can find anything comforting about it, is that it did seem like it was fairly peaceful. I didn't hear like reports of looting and violence necessarily. It seemed like I even watched some people who were live streaming in different cities, and it seemed like, okay, this is an appropriate way to practice your rights as a citizen of this country when you are trying to express your discontent for the way that the government is handling current situations. And I mean, I think it's hard right now to see what impact that has, whether it affects what's going on right now. But I just think, Trump's approval rating's pretty low, and there's just different reasons for that I think people are struggling with. And I think it's on both sides, right? It's like people who voted for him are even feeling a little bit like, some of the promises that I thought you told us aren't coming true. And then obviously his opponents are going to not approve of him.
Yeah. And this was actually the second. So there was a first No Kings protest in June, and that one had about 5 million people. And so it's kind of a continued thing. But I do agree. I mean, there's a lot that you can get into in it. I don't necessarily want to get in the weeds of it all, but I think just the idea of peaceful discourse that like, hey, we do want to share like what we're feeling, and freedom of speech and all those things I think is good. And see what it means, what it leads to. But I think just that idea is a positive thing. Yeah.
And to add, I think it's great that we live in a country where people can actually go out and protest and not be arrested for the speech.
Yeah.
I think that's a blessing that God's given us, that we can live in a place like that, because not everyone has that opportunity. I mean, we've seen in other countries pastors being arrested on the street for just saying what they believe in. So the fact that people can go out and go openly oppose a sitting president and then be able to do that legally, I think that's an incredible thing. So I think that's something that we shouldn't push past either. So
that's a really good point.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting to watch the ripples of that and how that grows.
One thing that I think has been interesting for me looking at just different events that have been happening is kind of as we've walked through different sermon series as a church. Yeah. Just kind of the ways in which we've seen connections that aren't necessarily commentaries on what's happening now in the moment always, but just like literally the next day, we that happens on a Saturday. On that Sunday, we're talking about this United Kingdom period in the Old Testament where Israel is like having a king for the first time, and Saul steps into that, and just the like, it's complete coincidence. We're not like planning, there's no way to know, but it's just an interesting thing to be like, oh.
And it was also interesting when Mark opened his sermon with "We want a king."
I didn't know if we were going. I wasn't going to go there. I was not going to mention that.
And I kind of looked at around like, what are we referencing?
I was taking pictures. I look right back at Eric. I was like, what is happening?
I was also in that circle, and that was a quite wild moment.
That was fun. We haven't talked to Mark personally to know if he was kind of making a little joke there or if it was just coincidence. But either way, it was a fun moment.
Yeah, nothing that I don't think he's making any sort of commentary.
No. Yeah. It was ironic. That's all.
It's coincidental with where recently how many things that have happened in culture are lining up.
Yeah, well, I mean, the immigration series was a huge one.
Yeah.
I mean,
we were accused multiple times of just like placating to culture in that moment, even though that whole, we just like, it's like there's a paper trail of proof that was planned months in advance, and it just happened to line up. And I think that was, we even did a whole, like our, like for our art for that series and stuff, what we did, like Jarrett and another Marie from our communications team, we all went out and like took photos of Mylar balloons hanging on walls and stuff like that. And like that was all planned months and months in advance. And it just so happened that it
we got a lot of that. Like, is that AI? And it was like, no, we went and did that.
We literally put those balloons.
Yeah. So anyways, one last headline we want to get to.
I tried to give you a transition there.
Oh,
see what I did
AI.
there?
You did. Thank you. I just totally missed it.
I know.
AI is taking over our feeds right now. I don't know if you guys have seen these Sora videos on your Instagram or TikTok, mainly Instagram as I'm seeing them. And they can be like, I've seen a lot with Martin Luther King, which is kind of upsetting in some ways. But they are just, it's OpenAI, which is the creators of ChatGPT. They have created a new video platform where you can go in and just by a text prompt, tell it to create a video. And if you give it the rights to use your likeness, it'll do that too. And it also has some famous people on there that it'll use their likeness because they've given permission to. But it's so... it's still got that little bit of uncanny valley where it's just a little off, but it's close enough that, if you go to Facebook right now, I will say that the boomers are kind of very confused. It's scary because it is so pervasive.
There are some though that I feel like it's upped its game.
Oh, that's what
absolutely.
This is
unless you're looking for a sixth toe.
Yeah, and that's not even there.
Well,
and not to tell a story for you, but I even was, as we were talking about this and I was thinking about, you spoke at the senior lunch yesterday, and even questions people are like, how do I know if this is real? And you said what I think is very true is like, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah,
like it's only going to get harder to know. And
Like I made this one. You at home. I don't know if you can see it, but you guys can attest. I made this one of me wrapping and making eggs, and it's so funny.
Can you turn it more towards the camera, Eric?
I don't know if you can see it. That
Oh,
well.
you can see it. We
Yeah,
can see it.
Okay, but it's just kind of crazy. Like it's not me.
Yeah.
But there's just this
But there's
weird
enough.
like.
But like if you were like, who is that? I'd be like, it's Eric.
Yeah. So it's very strange how it can
That
do
is
that.
strange. I've prided myself in not getting duped by any of this. I mean,
Yeah.
and I mean nothing because everything looks a little off. But it got me.
Did
it got
it?
me this week.
What was it?
Yeah, what's the
This
story?
it was a possum going up to take some Halloween candy
Yeah.
and getting scared by
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about?
I know, I've seen
by
it.
the clown that goes,
Yeah.
and then the
Possum falls over.
possum just like falls over, and I'm like, I love possums. This is so great.
I'm so torn by it because there are some that are so funny to me that I enjoy the entertainment of it, but I'm also kind of scared of what this means for misinformation.
I
and
know.
stuff.
Absolutely.
But like I was watching last night and it was just like I don't know, it was a dog, like what's the police dog? What breed is that? German Shepherd.
German Shepherd,
Yeah. And it's like just walks out of the house with an RPG on its shoulder and it's like shooting rockets at the neighbors and the owner is telling it to stop. And it was just obviously fake, but it looked so real that it just made me laugh. But yeah, it is kind of flooding our feeds and confusing people.
Yeah. I mean, I know you guys talked about AI a little while ago, but even just in this conversation, I feel like a lot of it's been too like a lot of Bible stories that are kind of been brought to life and made real.
Yeah.
And just like, I think there's a lot of good in that of like, hey, people are engaging in scripture in maybe a new way. But then there's the like, it's a slippery slope in the same way, real
Yes.
quick of like, how can I know for sure that this is what I should be watching or like listening to? And I think things like The Chosen, where it's kind of a different, like we're visualizing this thing, but there's a lot more guardrails on it and
Yeah.
there's a lot more trust. Whereas you're kind of like, I'm just taking this at face value if I'm not going to scripture and checking it out. And
Yeah.
it's just that's an example of it. Yeah. It's a
And
slippery
the
slope.
quick shares of it too, where it's like, oh, that's so good. And sometimes you even share it without finishing it all the way through.
Yeah. Look for the Sora watermark if you're
What's that look
confused.
like?
It should
I
a
need
lot of
that.
them people are starting to blur it out and hide it if they can, but it does kind of have it'll say Sora on it.
Yeah.
A lot of them it says the word. So
Well,
all right, we have one final part of this episode that we are going to wrap things up with. Speaking of AI again, we are going to turn the podcast over to a new host.
ooh.
And this is going to
Is
be
this the first time
interesting.
we've had 5 people?
Yeah, I think so. And this is going to be
Depends on how
very,
you define people.
yeah.
Ooh. Right. I gotta look for that
so-
Sora watermark.
What could go wrong?
Nothing
that.
could go wrong. I'm sure
little
this will
cloud.
be fine. I'm going to give ChatGPT the reins to take over this podcast. So let me see here if I can get this started. Hopefully it works. All right, ChatGPT, I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to have you take over the podcast for me on the Uncomfortable podcast about culture and Christianity. I'm here with Jarrett and Jess. My name is Eric, and we've got Bryce, our producer. Why don't you ask us a question to conduct this interview?
Absolutely. Let's do it old-fashioned podcast style. All right, Eric, Jarrett, Jess, and Bryce, here's a question to kick things off. Since we're on the Uncomfortable podcast, can each of you share a moment recently where you had to navigate a really uncomfortable conversation related to faith or culture? Let's dive into the stories.
Jess, you going first?
Jess, are you going to ask?
Sounds like a
You're
great
going to
idea.
answer her?
Ask what?
You weren't listening.
I'm listening.
All right, Jess, looks like the spotlight's on you. Feel free to jump in and share any recent moment where you
I
found
like
yourself
this.
in
I think that there is any.
Hey, no pressure.
Thanks, girl. Thanks for the hype. I think anytime
Go ahead.
anytime recently we've had to navigate anything politically, I think that that's like where we've like get questioned sometimes a lot, like on our competency on the podcast. And so I think that those are times where I tend to overthink, but I feel like those are the hardest for me to navigate. But I also feel like I will always try and I will always like be honest because I believe that I represent like a good majority of people that are navigating this, like that have real lives, jobs. Not that anybody else on the podcast doesn't, but I'm just saying like for me, those are hard to navigate. And I really have to like shift and like think through that of like, and not get overwhelmed by those topics, because it's not like something that I dearly love. Like, I'm gonna be interested in other aspects of culture, and I you can tell that I am, but that's just one that I tend to have to navigate
Well, and
through.
and I think the average person is not like consuming their whole day with making sure they have an opinion on everything. But then when you have a platform like a podcast or something, it's almost like people kind of expect that.
Yeah.
Did you have an? If you have an answer, go for it.
I mean, I don't know, uncomfortable is the right word, but one that was just really hard recently was, as I mentioned, that's the top of this, like transitioning roles and stepping out of guest experience meant I had to tell my team that I was going to be doing that, which is just hard because it's been a year and a half and I love them a lot and they've been nothing but gracious and amazing and were throughout that. But like figuring out like, okay, how am I going to communicate this to my team? And of course it's like the classic, I know I'm going to be telling them on a Monday, and that Sunday they're just like, oh, we just love having you in this role. And like, we're so grateful for you. And I'm like, yeah. And so it's hard. Like, again, I tell them and they're so wonderful and so gracious, but it's just the hard of like, things are going to change. And I don't know what that looks like, and just the uncomfortability of the unknown.
That's tough. Yeah, for sure. All right, let's try this one more time. Do you got any other questions for us?
Absolutely. I can keep them coming. So here's another one for the group. In the realm of faith and culture, what's a topic that you think people in your community are often too hesitant to talk about, but you really wish they would? Let's dive into that and see where it goes.
Wow, so they're bringing it. I don't know what gender that is. I think it's a she by the voice, but it's AI.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I'm nervous.
This one's tough. Yeah, it's just they're just taking over the show, and I feel like I don't know how to answer it. A topic that I would say I just kind of answered it last time. That's the thing. I feel like the politics thing is one of the scariest, it feels like the most dangerous conversation to have, just because there are so many emotions behind it. But it feels like when there's something that's more spiritual, it feels like, oh, we're kind of more prepared and capable of having those conversations. But when it's something that's a little out of the church's realm, and it's those lines are already being blurred in culture a lot between church and politics, that you don't want to add to that confusion, but you also you don't want to like fuel the fire of outrage either, kind of like what we talked about last week.
Yeah, I think in politics is probably a subset of that, but I think in the broader umbrella of just like lived theology, I feel like it's easy there's nuance in it, but to talk on a podcast about like, this is what we should believe, or like, this is the right way to approach this, but to like actually talk about, okay, how do we really do those things practically, whether it's loving the least of these, our neighbors, our community, or that's like, but to like actually live out the theology. And I feel like that's the part where maybe that's a little bit harder to talk about, because it requires more from you than just the head knowledge.
Okay, we'll do one more, but
I feel like we kind of need a fun one.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna. Hey, be quiet.
Between what
Be
we
quiet.
believe.
She's got all her own commentary. Be quiet. All right, here's the deal. We want a fun question. Okay, don't ask us something too serious. We want to end this on a light note. Thank you very much.
Jess is losing it.
All right, got it. We're switching gears to something fun and light. So let's go with this. If each of you had to describe your personality as a weird snack combination, what would it be? What's on a tasty note?
That is just such a hard right
A
turn.
weird snack combination? Weird snack?
Like
What's a weird
popcorn
snack?
and
Okay,
M&Ms.
no, I have an answer.
I
for
have
this.
an answer too,
Okay.
but
Jess, you go first.
no, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. This one, I have never once in my life, I ate this as a kid growing up so much, and have never once in my life had anyone that has reacted like normally to me telling them this. My like favorite snack as a kid that I do think is probably representative of me was cottage cheese and applesauce.
Okay.
Like mix them together.
So
That's gross.
that combination
gross.
sounds like I'm
I don't like
putting like the texture
Okay,
of
but here's
vomit
the
in my
thing.
mouth.
I really like you. So what I like,
But I do feel like in some sense, this is off the top of my head. How does that apply to me as a person?
yeah.
I feel like it's very bold. Like, it's just like, that's what it is. And it's unapologetic about it. And it's kind of like Nebraska, it's not for everyone. That's representative of the
Cottage
state.
cheese and apple cheese.
It's not for
sauce.
everyone,
No.
but I love it and I love myself.
Oh,
And
there you
so
go.
in
Good
that
job.
way, it is representative of me.
Jess, go for it.
Okay, I don't know how weird it is, but I don't think that many people, I don't know, we'll see if you guys have eaten this. A nice cracker of your
Nice
choice.
cracker.
A nice cracker.
Like a wheat thin
A
Triscuit.
piece,
I got a saltine
a
in my
nice,
brain.
a generous piece of triple creme brie cheese.
Okay.
And then a little jam on top.
Okay.
And just pop that in there.
I mean, that sounds
That's
nice.
pretty tame,
Yeah.
especially when I led with cottage cheese.
Okay,
and
and I like to
applesauce.
also put a little slice of jalapeno on top.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's good.
I don't know.
That sounds awesome.
I'm excited.
Right?
For,
I
I'm
would-
excited for Eric's
keep
answer.
Like
going.
you.
Awesome.
It's like you. You
Awesome.
sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
that's how
Unlike
it's-
Jarrett, which sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
You can bring it to a party. You can have it like,
Versatile.
yeah,
Yeah.
sitting by yourself.
I am excited to hear what Eric has to say.
Me too.
I feel like we
I'm very
downplay.
intrigued.
We're coming off as a team. We just went to Colorado and took a retreat, and
Yeah.
Eric cooked. And I feel like we can't understate just how good of a chef Eric is.
Eric has inspired me. I think I've said this on the podcast in multiple ways to like branch out and cook in different ways. He's the reason I have an air fryer.
So I am excited.
Literally.
I am excited for this
good.
combination because I will probably try it later.
This one is not like a chef thing. It's a weird thing, and my dad would eat it all the time, and that's where I picked it up. And I still think it's one of my favorite snacks, but I don't go to it very often because it's kind of very high in caloric content. But if you get like a sharp cheddar cheese, get a big slice of that, and just smear a big old glob of chunky peanut butter on top of that sharp cheddar cheese and eat it. That's all it is.
chunky.
Is that
Yeah.
you said chunky
Peanut
peanut
Yeah,
butter?
yeah, like crunchy peanut butter.
yep.
And
Do you
then
eat it
Jif.
like a-
I like Jif. I'm a Jif fan. What?
Sure.
Do you eat it like? Then do you slice it? Do you just like
It's just
pick
a
it up
sli-
and
like
eat it?
if you have a block of cheddar cheese, I would just take a slice of the cheese and smear peanut butter on it and eat it as a
And
snack. That's
how does
it.
that how does that represent you as a person?
It's full of protein and chunky.
We might have to help Eric with this.
I don't know.
I think we could have been
I
better.
think it, I
don't
think
know.
I
we
think
could have
it's
had a better answer.
intriguing. I think that
It's
it's
inviting.
it's inviting.
Makes you want to know more.
Yeah.
No, I think the flavor combination sounds weird at first, but it actually that goes together really well. I don't know. But I also grew up eating things like bear claws with like bologna on top of it. So that's
Do you
sweet.
enjoy weird
I like,
combinations?
I like sweet
Yeah.
and salty. I like
Yeah.
it when you veer into that lane of which maybe that sweet and salty or sweet and savory. That's probably kind of who I am. I can be
Yeah.
very kind and caring, but I can also be a little, I don't know, too witty for my own good in a mean way sometimes if I'm not careful. So, sweet and spicy. Bryce, end this on a good note. What's the snack that represents you, the weird combo?
When I think of weird combos, I feel like I just don't do that. I don't know.
You're just an all-American boy.
You
would never.
That's all
Remember when you
right.
said
You know,
gross. when
What's
I
your
shared
favorite
mine?
snack then?
I'd say my favorite snack is probably chips and queso, which I will say, I'm going to give a shout out to Eric here. On our team trip to Colorado, I told Eric that for Mexican food night, I wanted queso. And I was like, just get the Tostitos jar of queso. And Eric said, no, we are not going to do the Tostitos jar.
I wish we
and I
had.
was like, Eric, but I want queso. And he's like, no, I am going to make you the best queso you've ever had.
I don't
I'm gonna make you homemade
I have
queso.
nightmares about that queso.
Okay,
still.
and I just want to say it was really great queso. It was a good time.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it. And I don't know,
Wow.
it's kind of basic, and I don't know if that's the best parallel to me.
You're not
I
basic.
feel like I'm a little bit more than
I
basic.
think queso is something that everybody enjoys and likes.
See? There,
Well,
Jess.
They see that on the menu and they are ordering it.
I became in charge of making that queso, and it just started burning, and then I had to scoop out all the burnt parts of the queso. So
no.
that queso still gives me nightmares. but-
Hey,
well,
but
you got the
it-
burnt parts out because
yeah.
it tasted good.
Yeah,
so.
it came together
Yeah.
either
Man, I
way.
wish I was there
All right.
for all that.
We have gone on so many tangents today. I hope
That was
you've
fun.
enjoyed this
Hopefully.
ADD.
that's what
Other
that's
people
what the
had
title
fun.
of the episode is just going to be: tangents.
Tangents, yeah. The ADD tangents. Thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully it's a nice break in our normal programming. Alex will be back next week and he'll mend it all. He'll heal us all.
Yeah.
We'll have normal topics.
It'll be a rebuke.
Yeah. If he even listens to this, we'll find out. Thanks Bryce for producing and doing double duty and being on the show today.
No problem.
Thanks Jarrett for taking the place of Alex. Always appreciate
He's going to
that.
have to raise this microphone back up.
Yeah. And Jess, thanks as always. And everyone out there, thank you for listening. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always reach out to us on social media, on Instagram or TikTok at CCCOMA Podcast. You can send us an email to podcast@cccomaha.org or leave us a voicemail at 402-885-9930. Until next time, we'll talk to you.